How are your nerves now from when you were first elected as chief?
I look back today now, I feel very confident because of that. I never ever really had the less confidence in myself. I just didn't realize how much a chief had to deal with. Like, you think you run for elections today and you're gonna come in with all these ideas and implement them, and boom, it just hits you. You manage poverty, and that's priority. So 75% of my duty, I figured out, was managing poverty. Mental, emotional, physical poverty. And so the 25% was the innovation and the economics.
So if you could go back when you were a chief to anything and you can change something, is there anything that you would change?
If I was to go back and do it again, I would have empowered specialists and the team and maybe not move so fast, or if I can just say it as, make sure when you move forward that you look left and right and the right people are beside you moving forward. I do feel that Cowessess' institutional foundation is set today with good governance, good political sovereignty. We got a respected name locally, nationally, and internationally. And but I do feel that some Cowessess members feel that their ideas were not heard. And so if I was to go back, I would help create a better communication strategy to make sure that all voices that wanted to be a part of it were beside us.
Is there anything that you wished you had accomplished but just didn't have the capacity as a chief?
I was hopeful we were going to do a lands act or an education act or a governance act. And we just didn't have enough time. We didn't have the capacity. Trying to teach Cowessess to get from an administrative Indian Act governance structure to a nation-building, long-term strategic governance structure took 7 years to get it to the momentum we're at. And so to try and talk about laws, you gotta understand, you gotta just focus on what you have for resources at the moment.
How did it feel as a chief having to run a community during the pandemic, and what was that like, being thrown to something that you never had no experience of controlling, maintaining, with like hundreds of people under your, looking up to you for help and to like ways to show them what to do?
You know, leadership put their name forward for change, and change means many different things, but also you put your name forward to run the affairs of the nation, and that includes pandemics, that includes validation of unmarked graves and intergenerational trauma. And you know, we got to give our First Nation leadership a lot more recognition and respect in this country, because many do this their entire life, and they really just, the return on it is that our people are getting stronger. And you know, it was such a journey that I had for 7 years, and now I get to tell people about it. And hopefully my stories can shed light on the importance of respecting leadership.
And speaking of that, is there any advice or anything that you would say to the newly elected chief?
Drive hope, be real, don't take yourself so seriously, and know what tone you're using with what audience, because you can't use the same tone with every audience, because you know, you have to understand, you are a servant leader, you're the tone setter, and you only got a limited time to do it. And don't set your goals too high, and just be real. And you're gonna look back one day and you're just gonna have to tell yourself, I did the best I can with what I had.